If the canter has ever felt fast, messy, or scary, I promise you it doesn't have to be. Most riders fight for it. The real trick is learning to ask, and then simply allow it. My name is Linda Hargrove, and I've spent 40 years of early mornings around these animals. If you want the quiet, old-fashioned horsemanship that makes riding feel simple, take a moment and subscribe. That's exactly what I share here. So let me show you. Now, I want you to picture something with me before we ever set a boot in the stirrup. Picture an old rocking chair on a porch, or a child's rocking horse in the corner of a room that's slow, easy forward and back roll that near puts a body to sleep. That, and I mean this plain, is the canter. It is not a race. It is not a scramble. It is not the horse running off with you while you hang on for dear life. The canter is a rocking, rolling, 3-beat gait, and once you feel it right, it is the softest, most cradling motion a horse can give you. But most folks never come to it that way. Most folks come to the canter frightened because somewhere along the line they saw it as speed, and speed alone. They kicked and they clutched and they leaned, and the horse went quick and flat and hollow underneath them, and they decided the canter was a thing to be survived rather than enjoyed. I have seen it 100 times. Grown men and steady women, fine at the walk, fine at the trot, going stiff as a fence post the very moment somebody says the word canter. The day you buy a horse is very near the cheapest day you will ever spend on that horse. And I will tell you the first thing that untaught it for near everyone I have ever helped. The canter is not the gallop. Those are two different creatures altogether. The gallop is the flat-out run, the 4-beat thunder you see out on the racetrack, and that is not what we are after, not today, and not for a good long while. The canter is the gait just below it, collected, contained, no faster than a good brisk jog if you ask it right. So set the racing pictures clean out of your mind. We are after the rock, not the run. Let me tell you what is truly happening under you, because when you understand the gait, you stop fearing it. The canter has 3 beats, and it goes like this. First, one hind leg strikes the ground alone, that is your first beat, and it is the beat that pushes the whole motion up and forward. Then the second beat, the other hind leg and the front leg across from it come down together, a pair holding the middle of the stride. And then the third beat, the last front leg reaches out and lands alone, out ahead, and that is the leg that seems to catch you and rock you forward. 1, 2, 3. Then a breath of a moment where all 4 feet gather up off the ground. The old folks call that the moment of suspension, and then it begins over again. Hind, pair, front. Rock and catch and float. Rock and catch and float. That is the whole music of it. Now, here is a thing that near nobody tells the beginner, and it is the most important thing I will say all day. The canter is not made in the canter. The canter is made in the walk and the trot that come before it. A horse cannot give you a soft canter out of a rushed, strung out, falling apart trot. It simply cannot. If your trot is quick and flat, your canter will be quicker and flatter. So before you ever ask, you get your horse walking and trotting in a way that is calm and round and listening. You want him soft in your hand, not pulling. You want him carrying himself, his hind legs stepping up underneath his belly, his back swinging up under your seat. You want him waiting on you, ready, but not rushing. Get that, and the canter is near half-assed already. The horse is loaded up like a good spring, and all you have to do is let it go. And that patience, the willingness to build a thing right before you ever ask it, is the whole of what I do here, and it brings me to a word I want to say before we go on. Quick word before we move on. 40 years around horses teaches you more than fits in any one video. So I finally wrote it all down, start to finish, in a book. The feeding, the buying, the things I check before I trust anyone's opinion. Links pinned at the top of the comments. That's the long version, everything laid out plain, no hunting through videos for it, take it or leave it. Now before we go a single step further, let me say a word about where you learn this and on whose back. Do not go asking for your first canters on a green, hot, flighty young horse out in an open field with the wind up. That is asking for a fright, and a fright is the very thing we are working to keep you clear of. If it can be managed at all, you learn the canter on an older, honest, been-there sort of horse. The kind with some gray on his muzzle and no foolishness left in him. A horse that has carried 100 nervous riders and forgiven every last one. And you learn it in a small, enclosed place, a round pen, a fenced arena, a quiet corner where the horse has nowhere he even wants to run off to. Better still, have a knowing friend stand in the middle of it, or put that horse on a lunge line so somebody steady holds the far end while you give your whole mind over to your seat. There is no shame in any of that. Now, board comes in a few kinds, and the price runs from one to the next like a stair. So your horse is ready. Now let us talk about you, because your body is the biggest part of this, bigger than any rein, bigger than any leg. When the canter comes, your seat has to go with it, not against it. That rocking motion I told you about, that forward and back roll, your hips must learn to follow it, loose and easy, like you are polishing the saddle with the seat of your breeches. Down and forward in rhythm with the horse. If you sit stiff, if you brace and grip and hold yourself hard against the motion, you bounce, and a bouncing rider makes a hollow, hurried horse every time. Soft seat, soft horse. Hard seat, hard horse. It is that plain. And here is a thing you can practice long before you ever ask for a single stride of canter, and it will serve you better than any lesson money can buy. At the walk, the plain, slow, ordinary walk, close your eyes a moment and just feel how the horse's back moves your seat beneath you. Feel the left hip lift, then the right, then the left again, a gentle sway rolling up through you. Learn to let it move you, instead of sitting up on top of it stiff as a sack of feed, because the canter asks for that very same following, only bigger and rounder and slower. If you can learn to melt down into the walk, to go loose and easy and let the motion pour on up through your spine, then when the canter comes, it will feel like a thing you already half know. Most riders never once practice their seat at the walk. They save every nerve they have for the fast part. Do it backward from them. Master the slow, and the fast comes soft. And your hands, oh, your hands. The most common thing I see is a frightened rider holding the reins the way a drowning soul holds a rope. They grab and they pull back, and here is the cruelty of it, though they never mean any cruelty. They are asking the horse to go forward with the leg and to stop with the hand, both at the very same time. That poor animal does not know whether it is coming or going, so you soften. You keep a gentle, following, breathing contact enough to speak to him, and never so much as to trap him. Now to the asking itself, and I am going to give it to you as plain as I know how. Sit up tall and quiet. Slide your outside leg, that is the leg nearest the rail. The leg on the outside of the bend, slide it back behind the girth, just a hand's width, no more. Keep your inside leg right there at the girth. Steady, like a post the horse can bend himself around. Then, with a soft seat and a little squeeze, you ask. Some folks give a little kiss or a cluck along with it, a sound the horse comes to know over time. And that is all. You are not hauling. You are not kicking with both heels. You are not throwing yourself up the neck. You are giving one clear, quiet signal: outside leg back, inside leg on. Sit and ask, and then, and this is the part the whole thing hangs upon, you allow. You ask, and then you allow. Most riders do the first half and clean forget the second. They ask, and then the moment the horse jumps up into that canter, they panic and clamp down. They grip with the knees, they pull on the reins, they curl forward into a little frightened ball, and they shut the door on the very thing they just asked for. The horse says, "Why? You asked me to canter," and the rider's body says, "No, stop, stop," and the whole business falls to pieces in a stride or two. So you must decide, before ever you ask, that when the canter comes, you will open the door and let it walk through. You will breathe out, you will let your hips roll, you will follow it. A horse's feet grow, like your own fingernails, steady and always, and left untended they crack and split and go lame. There is one more small piece that ties the asking together, and the old hands call it gathering him up. Just a heartbeat before you ask. You give a soft little squeeze and release on the reins, along with a touch of leg, not a pull, never a pull, only a whisper that says, "Get ready now. Something is coming." It is like calling a man's name before you tell him a thing, so that he turns and listens instead of being startled by it. That little gathering rocks the horse's weight back onto his hind legs, sets him up underneath himself, and from there the canter comes up round and easy instead of falling out flat and fast onto his forehand. Prepare, then ask, then allow. Prepare, ask, allow. Say it to yourself in the saddle till it becomes the very rhythm of your own breathing. Now let me tell you a small thing that sounds fancy but is truly simple, and that is the matter of leads. When a horse canters, he reaches one front leg further out ahead than the other, and you want him reaching with the leg on the inside of your circle or your turn, because that is what keeps him balanced, the way a runner leans into a bend. On the wrong lead, he will feel awkward and unbalanced underneath you, a little like a wagon with one low wheel. Here's the old trick to get the right one every time. Ask for the canter as you come into a corner or a gentle turn, with your body positioned to the inside of it. The bend of that turn and the set of your legs tell the horse which lead to take, near without your having to think on it at all. Ask in the corner. Let the turn do the teaching. 9 times in 10, he will step off correct. And do not fret yourself sick over these leads at the start of things. In the beginning, just getting up into the canter at all is plenty to be proud of. The lead will come along on its own as your seat grows wiser. But if you do want to check it, you can steal a quick glance down at the horse's shoulders, and you will see the inside one reaching a touch further forward with each stride he takes. Do not drop your whole head down to look, mind you, or you will pitch your weight down and forward and undo the whole of it. Just let your eyes drift down for half a breath, see it, and lift them right back up. In time, you will feel the correct lead without ever once looking, the way you feel which foot you are about to step off on when you rise to walk across a room. It becomes a knowing, plain and bodily. It only takes the miles. Now let me gather up the common mistakes, because if you can just quit doing these few things, you are most of the way home already. Do not lean forward. When folks get nervous, they pitch their shoulders ahead, up over the horse's neck, and that drives him faster and throws you off balance both at once. Sit back, sit tall, keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. Do not grip with your knees. A knee grip pushes your seat straight up out of the saddle, right up out of the very seat that keeps you on the horse. Let your leg drape long and soft down his side, and hold with your seat, never with your knees. Do not chase the canter with your hands, pumping the reins forward and back like you are rowing a boat down a river. Keep them still, keep them following, and do not hold your breath. I mean that one, honest, and I mean it plain. A held breath stiffens your whole body from the jaw on down. Breathe out as you ask, breathe easy as you go. A rider who breathes is a rider who is soft, and a soft rider is the surest way there is to a soft horse. Now let me answer the 3 troubles I get asked about the most, for you are near certain to meet one of them. First is the horse that will not step up into the canter at all, that just trots faster and faster and flatter no matter how you ask him. That horse has learned to run away from the question instead of answering it, so bring him on back to a slow, collected trot. Gather him gentle, and ask again, clear out of a corner, and be sure your own seat is not blocking him by bracing hard against the motion. Second is the horse that leaps into it hot and rushes right off. That is most often the rider's own 2 hands, grabbing the very moment he moves, or the rider's fear leaking straight down the reins into his mouth, so breathe. Soften that hand, and let him find the rhythm. He hurries because he feels you clutch. And third is the horse that keeps breaking back down to a trot after a stride or 2. That one is nearly always the rider quitting on him. The seat stops following, the leg falls away, the mind goes wandering off, so keep your seat rolling and your leg quietly on, and think forward, and he will keep right on carrying you. Most every canter trouble, when you dig down to the bones of it, is a rider trouble wearing a horse's coat. Fix yourself first, and the horse most often fixes right along with you. Something else that helps a rider more than most would ever credit. Count it, or hum it, or breathe it right out loud. As the canter rolls along beneath you, say it soft under your breath, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, in time with those 3 beats. It keeps your own body down inside the rhythm. It keeps you breathing steady and even, and it keeps your mind clean off the fear. For a mind that is busy counting is a mind that has no room left in it to panic. Some of the old riders will hum a little tune the whole way round, always the same one, year upon year, and their horses come to canter to it like a dance the 2 of them know by heart. So find your own 3 count and let it carry the both of you along. And when you want to come back down for coming down, calm matters near as much as going up calm. You do not go hauling on his mouth. You sit up, you close your fingers, gentle, you breathe, and you think the word walk with your whole body, letting your seat go quiet and still beneath you. The horse feels your seat stop following him, and he comes on back to you, down to a trot and then down to a walk, soft and unhurried, and you give him a good rub on the neck and you tell him he did well. Always tell him he did well. That horse is trying to read you every single stride he takes, and a kind word and a soft hand at the end is how he comes to learn that the canter is a good place to be and not a fearsome one. Now do not go asking for 10 minutes of canter your first day, nor your 10th. You build it the way our people built every last thing worth the building, a little at a time, and no rushing it. A few strides and then bring him back gentle and praise him. A few more, and back and praise him again. Let the both of you find out that it is easy, long before you ever ask for it to be long. Some days you will get it clean and it will feel for all the world like flying in a rocking chair. And some days you will get a scramble and a wrong lead and a bounce or two. And on those days you laugh and you go back to your good, honest trot and you ask again soft. That is not failure. That is the work itself. That is how it has always been done, by every soul who ever learned to ride well a little at a time, with patience, with kindness, allowing the horse to come along at the pace he is able to manage. I learned all of this the slow way, and from folks who learned it slower still. My grandmother could sit a canter with a cup of coffee in the one hand and never spill so much as a drop, and she never once in her whole life raised her voice to a horse to get it. She used to tell me the horse is a mirror, and I did not believe her when I was young and full of hurry. But she was right, the way the old ones near always turn out to be right. Everything hard in your body, the horse hands you straight back. Everything soft and quiet and patient, why? He hands you that back too. So the canter, in the end of it, is not truly a thing you do to a horse. It is a thing the two of you come to agree upon. You make yourself the kind of quiet he can lean on and trust, and he lends you those 3 rolling beats, and for a handful of strides there, the two of you move as one single creature. There is nothing else in all this world quite like it, and I will tell you what you have waiting for you on the far side of all this, so you will have something worth riding toward. There comes a day, and it comes to every soul who stays patient when you ask, and the horse steps up soft, and instead of bracing, you simply breathe out and go along with him. And all at once, the ground stops jarring you and starts to roll. It goes quiet. It goes smooth. The fence posts float on by and your hips are swinging easy and you are not holding on at all. You are just being carried, rocked gently along like a little boat on a slow swell. That is the moment every rider alive is chasing, whether they have the words for it or not. And once you have felt it true, one single honest time, your body never does quite forget the way back to it. That is what I want for you. So here is what I want to hand you today, the whole of it in one breath. The canter is not fast, it is not messy, and it is not a thing to be scared of. It is a slow, rolling, 3-beat rock made in the calm walk and trot that come before it, asked for with a quiet seat, and an outside leg slipped back, and then allowed, and allowed, and allowed to come on through while you breathe, and follow, and let your hips roll right along with it. Ask and allow. That is the whole of the secret, and it is not truly a secret at all, only a plain old thing that got drowned out somewhere along the way by folks hollering about heels down and going fast. So now I would dearly love to hear from you. Tell me down in the comments, what is the thing about the canter that has troubled you the most? Is it the fear of it, or the bounce, or the wrong lead, or just getting that horse to step up into it at all? And tell me where it is you ride and what kind of horse it is that carries you, for I do read every last one of them and there is little I love better of an evening. And tell me too, if you would, whether this was the thing that finally made the canter make plain sense to you, for those notes are the very ones that keep an old woman at this work at all. I read them by lamplight, near every one, and I think on the riders behind them, scattered clear across this big country, every one of us just trying to sit a horse a little softer than we did the day before. Next time, I am going to sit down with you and talk on the thing that comes right after the canter turns easy, how to keep your hands quiet and kind at every gait, so that horse of yours stays soft in your hand the whole of his life long. Until then, you be gentle with your horse, and be gentle with your own self. It all comes in time. You go easy now, and I will look out for you here next time.